The girl deliberately broke the light bulb in front of the school tyrant. Then he poured water all over the bed just to find an excuse to live at his house. But when he really arrived at the school bully's house, but she was shy. Looking at the big slippers on her feet, she suddenly realized something. This is not only a Wi-Fi hotspot in front of her, that she is lucky. He is also a handsome boy with full hormones. After a sequel to The Brain, Mingxi finally couldn't hold it anymore. Close your eyes and kick your legs. Or I should go back to school. Before he finished speaking, Fu Yangxi stood up and stopped her back. What are you going back to? After realizing that he had an extreme reaction, he adjusted his emotions again. You can live here, I'll go out to live today. After saying that, he didn't forget to add, don't think too much, I have always been a righteous man. I will keep Kei Chengwen for 2 nights if this happens. After hearing his analogy, Mingxi felt a little lost, but she didn't know where this feeling of loss came from. There was no time to think so much. She shouldn't let the school bully go out for reason. So she called Fu Yangxi. We'd better stay here. But in the corner where she couldn't see, Xiao Naoya raised the corner of her mouth. She replied very reluctantly. It seems that this is the only way. They sat back at the 2 ends of the sofa with red faces. The atmosphere is so weird that it makes people suffocate. In the end, it was Mingxi who proposed. How about we go to see a movie? Little Tsundere secretly thought. Does she mean to date me? Forget it. I must have imagined it again. So she told Mingxi expressionlessly, there is a video room on the 2nd floor. Choose whatever you want. Just took 2 steps and then stopped uncertain inquiry room. It seems we're going to have dinner together tomorrow. Mingxi thought about it. Noon is not possible. Dongshen asked me to buy something with him. That's the brother of the Dong family who is very kind to me. I mentioned it to you before. She didn't know why she had to explain this to the school bully, but I just don't want him to misunderstand. Not at all. So let's have it together tomorrow. I don't know if it's my illusion. LNJ Mingxi felt that she finished saying this. The school bully looked much happier than before. She jumped to Fu Yangxi and wanted to see more carefully, but this dead red hair becomes arrogant in 1 second. What, is it just so excited to have a meal? Okay, she was overthinking it. In the audio studio, Fu Yangxi was looking for a videotape in front of the screen. The dark blue light makes his facial features look particularly 3-dimensional and beautiful. Mingxi stared at him blankly. The vision unconsciously fell on his fair and slender hands. It looked big and warm, although I had shaken his hand before the monthly exam to get the luck. But at that time, her attention was completely on the potted plants. I can't remember what it felt like at that time. Any later, she was rubbed by her hands, and her hair was thrust at that time. I just felt that this guy was very strong. But now I feel inexplicably itchy when I think about it. I haven't had time to find out where this itch comes from. The school tyrant picked up a science fiction film and turned to ask her, have you seen this? Mingxi came back to his senses and read the answer subconsciously. The school tyrant frowned and asked who he watched it with. Mingxi naive explanation. I watched it with Shen Liao and Dongshen when I first came here. The 3 words, Shen Liao once again, hurt Xiao. Arrogant heart, he pinched the DVD with expressionless expression. Really? Is the movie good? The straight girl carefully recalled the plot of the movie. Dagger, it's quite touching. Fu Yangxi gritted his teeth with a calm face. You remember it very clearly. Mingxi mistakenly thought he was interested in movies. I was going to tell him some more details, but the school tyrant was in a state of interest and let it go back. Suddenly sleepy. No matter Mingxi's reaction, he pushed the door and walked out directly. He knew he shouldn't be angry about this kind of thing, but he's just jealous of his love for a little mask. Even now I still like it. As seeing him feeling unhappy, Mingxi hurriedly chased him to ask, don't watch it anymore? School bully covered up a few words casually. Some other day, he brought Mingxi to the door of the guest room. There is a separate bathroom inside. You can also take a break early. In the end, Mingxi could only let his ups and downs blame it should be my uncle. So he didn't care too much, just whispered by Mr. Fu. Little did he know that the moment she stepped into the room, Yang Shi almost blurted out, do you still like Shen Liao? But he still didn't have the courage to ask. I am also more afraid of hearing answers I don't want to hear. After taking a shower, Mingxi got into the quilt and sent a message to Xiaoyang. Do boys also have those days of irritability every month? 8. He Yang's reply looks like my best friend's sisters tell in detail. Little straight girl told what had just happened, promised to watch a movie. Then he turned around and said he was sleepy. He must regret taking me in as his younger brother. Always stressed that I should not call him a boss. Yes, it must be like this. The more she talked, the more she became more indignant. The phone was so fiery. How could he do this? Still, a dog man. But Jia Yang on the other end seemed to have grasped some strange point. Boys get sleepy after 3 minutes. This won't work. But Mingxi, have you noticed the topics you and I have talked to you these days are Fu Yangxi? You and Kei Chengwen have a good relationship too. Why haven't you heard you mention him? Is the school bully a special existence to you? Zhao Mingxi jumped up nervously, blood rushed to my scalp in a flash. He Yang's words suddenly opened her celestial cover. 3. Past memories came into her mind bit by bit, yes. Recently, her attention seems to be on the school tyrant, surveyed at him in class, and was criticized by the teacher. Hearing the school tyrant say that he treated her the same as Kei Chengwen will feel lost inexplicably, but why? Why does she care so much about the school tyrant? She didn't figure it out until her brain crashed. Simultaneously, Fu Yangxi stared at the ceiling and lost sleep again. In the past, the company of a small mask would always dispel the haze of his past, but after knowing that Mingxi didn't like him, now the only light is gone, in the long dark night he will still be with those nightmares.